Welcome back to News Dose, everybody. Today we've got very important news to go through. We have Sony's most popular games, and to no one's surprise, it isn't any of their exclusives. It's a lot of live service titles such as FIFA, Fortnite, and Call of Duty. Square Enix is thinking about leveraging AI aggressively going forward. They've detailed this in their 2024 New Year's letter to the public, consumers, as well as their stockholders. This could be important moving forward because AI is becoming more and more prominent, and this could lead to a lot of job cuts, but hopefully it just makes things more efficient, lessens workload, and gets rid of crunches that happens in the video game development industry. We also have achievement revamps for the Xbox. Special Nick on Xbox Era hinted that there is a possible revamp coming to achievements in 2024, so I'll be discussing that later. And lastly, PlayStation is collaborating with NCSoft to create a Horizon MMO. We know they're trying to move towards more live service games, and this could be huge for them if done right. Alright, first up is the small news. On the Xbox Era podcast, Special Nick hinted that there is a possible achievement revamp happening in 2024, and this is what he had to say. What I'm hearing is that Xbox are nearly done with their achievement overhaul, with changes to achievements and how we should be seeing it next year. When they say next year, I'm assuming they're aware of the fact that it's New Year's Eve, so I guess they mean 2024. But we should be, at the very least, being shown it, because you know how sometimes they put stuff in beta and then it goes through different rings. Now, if this achievement revamp is true, I want to see 4 things. The first one is a completion or a platinum equivalent. It works well with PlayStation because they have the bronze, silver, gold, and a platinum tier, which represents the completion. I want to be able to see a completion counter on my profile next to my gamer score, which shows how many games I've completed. Maybe even an achievement counter that shows how many achievements I've unlocked as well next to the gamer score. The next thing I want to see is a reward system that rewards me for going out and getting these achievements. Back during the 360 era, we used to get avatar rewards as well as backgrounds for our Xbox dashboard. I think this would help, but because it's been, 15 years since then, I think maybe also incorporating some sort of reward points would work as well, where if you complete a game, you get 500 points or something like that. I want to be rewarded for going out and actively getting these achievements. The next thing I want to see is a better UI. I remember being able to compare games with my friends using the guide button on the 360, whereas on the Xbox One and Series X, if I want to compare, it takes me straight to the dashboard and out of the game. I think a better UI would equate to a more friendly approach. And lastly, the most important one for me is achievement support for older classic titles, especially since Xbox is putting their backwards compatible titles on from the OG Xbox onto Game Pass. I want to be able to unlock achievements in those games. You can probably create a small dedicated team that would create achievements for these older titles, or maybe even collaborate with developers and the publishers of these games. Tell me in the comments what you think Xbox should do if they're revamping their achievement system. I'm genuinely curious how they can improve the really old archaic system that we have right now. Next up, we have the Horizon MMO news by NCSoft. Curacasis on Twitter has compiled a list of things that they've found into a Twitter post. Firstly, the interesting part is that it's a PC and mobile game. He couldn't find any plans for a PlayStation 5 version, but this doesn't mean that there won't be a PlayStation 5 version. Apparently it's going to utilize Unreal Engine 5, and it's expected to launch after Aeon 2, which is anticipated for the year 2025. The development started in 2021, and with an average of 5 years for dev time, that hints to about a 2026 release, which sort of goes with the 2024-2025 release of Aeon, if it is being released after Aeon 2. I believe this is good for Sony because they do need to branch out their formula that they've created for themselves. They released third-person over-the-shoulder action-adventure, set-piece, cinematic, blockbuster, critically acclaimed games, and there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people think that PlayStation is creatively bankrupt, and this is a good way to branch out. Not only to branch out of their formula, but they're also taking it multi-platform, and they are expanding. And this would be amazing for them because they have detailed in the Insomniac leaks that they are looking to expand, they are looking to branch out, and they are looking to do more creative, smaller titles as well. This in the long run will be able to gather a lot of players, a lot of gamers, and it will create a huge player base in the MMO genre that they're going for. And if it is successful, it will be a live service game that will give them consistent revenue. And that is ultimately what they want, consistent revenue, because we have seen game budgets like Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 just ballooning and increasing and increasing. And that threshold gets higher and higher to be able to make a bigger profit. But if they keep it small, if they expand it, if they use the wide fishnet approach, they should be able to capture a lot of players, and therefore the player base would be higher, as I said, and it's highly likely to be successful. And if it is successful, it's more likely to give them that consistent revenue that they're looking for. This is especially important because Call of Duty will eventually be synonymous with Xbox. PlayStation won't have that marketing deal anymore, so players are more likely to go to Game Pass, and this would obviously impact their revenue. But if they offset that with more live service games, that would be good for them in the long run. Let's move on to the important topic of the video. Sony's top 3 most popular games by region are out, and as I've said, it isn't any of their exclusives like God of War, Spider-Man, Uncharted, Horizon. It's a lot of either free-to-play or live service titles. I will put up an image that compiles all of the top 3 games for every region, but there is a summary. South Korea has no free-to-play titles in their top 3. All 3 games are premium titles, Elden Ring and Diablo 4's only appearances on the list. Japan is the only country to feature Apex Legends and Genshin Impact. Fortnite and Call of Duty are top 2 across all 3 North American countries. Argentina is the only country to feature Rocket League in the top 3. Fortnite, FIFA 23 and Call of Duty is top 3 everywhere in Europe, apart from Italy, who replaces COD with GTA 5. All of the games are third party. Notice how Call of Duty is in, I believe, 18 of the 23 groups, and Call of Duty is an Xbox first party game now. And it's interesting because ever since 2013, when they secured the 2014, I believe, when they secured the marketing rights for Call of Duty, they've relied on Call of Duty so much to bring in that consistent revenue that they've reinvested all that money into securing third-party deals, timed exclusives. They did this again in 2019. They renewed the marketing deal. They were heavily leaning on Call of Duty again, but Microsoft went and bought Activision, and now that money, I wonder where it's going to go, because they're not able to have a marketing deal anymore, so therefore they will have a lot of money to be able to reinvest. And what they should have done wasn't rely on COD. It wasn't to kick the can down the road, as people like to say. It was to bring back some of their older IPs like Killzone, Resistance, SOCOM, build these up to be Call of Duty competitors, to have it be in-house where you get 100% of the profits rather than 30%. But again, they relied on COD way too much, and now they're sort of in a position where that COD money isn't going to be going back to Activision to secure another 5-year marketing deal. It's going to go somewhere else, and I wonder what that could be. A lot of people are speculating they're going to try and secure other third-party games. It could be marketing deals with Fortnite. It could be marketing deals with GTA 6. That's what the speculation is at the moment. It could be marketing deals with FIFA. But what I believe they should do is take that money, rather than spend it on marketing, they could spend it on creating an in-house studio built from the ground up that would be able to create a AAA premium live service game that goes and competes against COD. All right, on to our final topic here. This one is Square Enix utilizing AI moving forward. Last year, they said that they would be utilizing NFTs, and we saw what happened with that. It was a massive scam, and Ubisoft said the same thing, and they sort of shut that down immediately as well, 6 months in. But this year, they're saying that they'll be leveraging AI aggressively. This is what they had to say in their New Year 2024 letter. We also intend to be aggressive in applying AI and other cutting-edge technologies to both our content development and our publishing functions. In the short term, our goal will be to enhance our development productivity and achieve greater sophistication in our marketing efforts. In the long term, we hope to leverage those technologies to create new forms of content for consumers, as we believe that technological innovation represents business opportunities. We know that more and more developers and more publishers are going to come out and start utilizing AI. That is the trend. That's where we're moving. There is an AI bubble, and AI is going to be important for the future. But the interesting part here is that they reference ChatGPT and how it isn't just limited to text. It can also make videos, images, as well as music. And that's really interesting because it'll be curious to see what they can develop using a music AI as well as image AI. They could use it for concept art, character models, sound effects, choreography, music composition. There's a lot of potential. However, I don't think AI should get rid of jobs. I think it should be used for two purposes. One, it's for menial tasks like data entry or creating presentations, things that increase workload for no reason. You can have AI come in and just help you lessen that workload. We know that the industry is full of crunch and we don't want developers to be overworked, so having AI there will help in the long run. The second reason is to create foundations, and what I mean by that is if you're using AI to create concept art, you shouldn't take that concept art as it is. You should be able to take ideas from that AI and build upon that. Just don't use AI for everything. They also go on to say this: in terms of new business domains, we previously identified 3 focus investment fields, namely blockchain entertainment / Web 3.0, AI, and the cloud. We know that Microsoft invested heavily into AI and they've invested heavily into cloud. I wonder if Microsoft, especially Xbox, because we know they've partnered with Square Enix to bring their games to Xbox. I wonder if some sort of deal happened, or if there is some sort of deal that could happen in the future where Square Enix utilizes Microsoft's AI and cloud infrastructure, because Square Enix needs to license this AI. They need to pay for the service, and it's not something that they'll be able to afford continuously unless they're making tremendous profits. A workaround to that could be a partnership with Xbox where Square Enix can utilize AI and the cloud, and Xbox could get some games from Square Enix. But that's the news for today. Tell me in the comments what you think. Do you think AI is a good idea? What are your concerns? And can you see any positives to it? And also, what's your opinions on an Xbox first-party game, Call of Duty, being PlayStation's most popular game? As per usual, if you like the episode, hit that bell button to stay notified when I next upload.